Hello, my name is Gabriela Lebron, and along my classmates, Sofia and Maria Paula, we're going to be discussing the song We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. So the person I chose to discuss was Richard Nixon. I believe Billy Joel included him in his song because Nixon accomplished many positive things for the United States. President Nixon's first priority was to achieve reconciliation. At the time of his election, the United States was deeply divided, with chaos in the cities and war on the horizon. During Nixon's presidency, he was able to bring an end to American wars in Vietnam and strengthen relations with the USSR and China. He traveled to Beijing and Moscow and was able to reach an agreement with the Russian leader to limit strategic nuclear weapons. A few months into his presidency, the administration was trying to battle the Watergate scandal. This resulted from a break-in at the Democratic National Committee's offices during the 1972 campaign. Officials from the committee to re-elect the president were identified as the perpetrators of the break-in. A number of government officials and others were eventually found guilty of crimes related to the cover-up. Nixon denied any involvement, but the courts forced him to turn over a tape recording that showed that he had attempted to derail the investigation. After this scandal, he became the first president to ever resign from office. I believe Billy Joel talks about Nixon in his song because of how he helped stabilize the United States at the time, but also to bring knowledge to the world of how people in high places like the government are corrupt. The US citizens had the right to know that from then on, Nixon was not to be trusted by any of them because he was willing to win the election by committing a crime.
After Billy Joel's 1989 hit song We Didn't Start the Fire, which debuted 32 years ago, historically and socially significant events have taken place that have greatly impacted the world. First of all, in 1997, Princess Diana of Wales died from a car accident in Paris, along with her partner, Dodi Fayed, and their chauffeur. Diana was only 36 years old at the time of her death, with two young sons who would mourn her. Her death sparked a sensational outburst of public grief in the UK and around the world, with an estimated 2.5 billion people tuning in to see her funeral. In September 11, 2001, America suffered several terrorist attacks that would take the lives of many people, where 4 commercial airplanes were hijacked of members of Al-Qaeda, 2 of which crashed into the Twin Towers, another into the Pentagon, and the 4th one was crashed into a field after the passengers took back the plane. The 9/11 terrorist attacks began the Afghanistan war that would last for 20 years after that. Not only that, but if you ask an American who was old enough to remember that day, they will be able to tell you where they were and what they were doing when they heard the news. The terrorist attacks on 9/11 also led to the US improving its national security. On November 4, 2008, Barack Obama, former US Senator of Illinois, defeated John McCain, the Republican nominee, in becoming president-elect. This would make Obama the first African American to be elected president. This event would make a progression in history and further racial acceptance in America. Most people have different definitions of what is significant as time passes. Age, education, political orientation, ethnicity, and interest in pop culture or media may influence how others may view an event or person in history as significant. A person who was not alive or conscious during a historically important event will not view said event as equally significant as a person who lived it. Today, social media and a fast-paced news cycle has changed the way we deem events as significant. Since news is received so quickly and so often, it is difficult for any sort of significant event to impact us greatly. As in, just a click of a button, the page resets and we're left with another equally insignificant event.
We wrote an extra verse to the song. It says, "We're moving forward, gay marriage, Me Too, Black Lives Matter. Now we're going backwards. 9/11, mass shootings, 2 impeachments, George Floyd." We wrote this verse and we picked several moments that have happened since we were born in 2001. We mentioned all these things because it sometimes feels like we as humans are always moving forward with all the things that we are creating and supporting. But at the same time, it feels like we are going backwards with all the negative things and awful things that we are also supporting and creating. That is taking us back to caveman ages. So are we really going somewhere as a society? Are we moving forward or backwards? or are we just staying in the same place?